Group B headlines of today's fixtures in the COSAFA Under-20 Youth Championship for 2020. Hello and welcome, and thank you so much for joining us for our second build-up. Still coming to you live from the Isaac Wolfson Stadium. Well, the weather is unpredictable, and as I can pick up that the wind speed has picked up a bit, it seems like we will be maybe experiencing some light showers. It's something that the coaches made mention of in their pre-match interviews. As we look at now the game that was prior to this one that will be kicking off in a couple of minutes, the attention today has been solely focused on Group B. Earlier on, we did see Zambia up in action against the Comores. Zambia continuing on in terms of their winning streak. For the Comores, they've struggled so much to just even try to get a victory or even score a goal in this tournament. Up next, it is the Young Warriors up against the Young Flames of Malawi. As things stand, Zambia do have an edge, and they've opened the door of opportunity in terms of reaching the knockout stages of the tournament. Malawi will have to follow suit if they have any chances of going through. But for Namibia as well, they will not make it easy for Malawi. For the Comores, it seems like this is a team that has waved a goodbye to their chances of progressing in this competition and going through in terms of that. Now, we talked to both coaches, and you understand that for Coach James of Namibia, it is a must-win clash, and Coach Patrick Mabedi of Malawi, he speaks about now the offensive play and what it is that the team has to do. And look at the changes that he has made. A player like Lasenji Nkoma that comes in. Let's hear more from the coaches. Coach James, given the quick turnaround in between games, what's the status of the team right now?
At the moment, things are going very well. We did our recovery period. We did our recovery, so I think our boys are fresh enough to play the game.
You look at how the team is structured today, Coach. What type of game are you anticipating from Malawi?
Look, what we've seen, they are ball-playing country, just like us. So I think they'll still keep that as well. For us, it's not to allow them to play the usual game. We will have to press them in order for them not to play the normal game.
And Coach, you talk about that as well. You look at the way the team was able to hold back in the previous game. Will we see more of offensive play from Namibia today?
Definitely. We need to win. Doesn't matter how. We need the 3 points today. So we'll be more offensive today. We'll have to keep the ball more because of the wind. We cannot play long balls. So we need to keep it as short as possible. And then we must get the win today.
Thank you.
Okay.
Coach, given the current weather conditions, what are you anticipating in terms of the style of play from both teams today?
Look, it's not going to be easy. I think the weather also is playing a different role in this game. And we have to try to play our game, which is to put the ball on the ground. Then it can help us. But if you're trying to play high ball in the air, then I think it's going to be a problem. But we just need to focus and try to put the ball on the ground.
A morale-boosting victory in your previous game, but again, you can't leave it to chance like you did.
Look, we don't have time to work with the things that we went through in the game, but we just need to try what we can do. And I think we have to collect what we did wrong. I mean, we create chances, and we have to convert those chances to win the game. At the end of the day of this tournament, you may count the goals, because every team is doing by themselves. I mean, they need to give themselves favor. So we just need to go out there and try to score as many goals as you can. Though it's not going to be easy. We're playing a team whereby they are more running, they are physical. So any chance we get, we need to punish them, and we need to make sure that we need to play. We analyze them, and we saw them, and let's hope players they'll get it right and do exactly what we saw and things that we discuss and we practice.
Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.
An unchanged starting 11 from Namibia, but they will have to adjust from defensive mode to attack mode. When you look at Malawi, the coach speaks about the importance of goal difference, as it might be a key factor in terms of determining who will progress through to the knockout stage as well. It is Namibia up against Malawi. Motlogeleng Keninda in commentary.
Whoa. I mean, it is another group with drama. Namibia versus Malawi. Well, I can tell you something, that the wind speed is something else. Even the cameras are a bit shaky. 35 kilometers an hour. It's just something that the players are going to have to deal with in this match. And I can tell you that coaches may have to find this one a bit challenging, because the youngsters should rather be wearing tracksuits and not their shorts, because it's a bit chilly out at Wolfson Stadium. And we're just looking forward to this match that has nothing but drama. If you can see how the players are sitting down and just absorbing and taking the wind speed, that is really going to be a disadvantage to most of these sides. That is Malawi that are just looking to maybe getting themselves a goal of some sort, maybe getting themselves into just that chase. A very important chase, that is they're sitting on 3 points, and Zambia are comfortably so sitting on 6 points, and you have Namibia who are yet to register a win, and maybe you can tell that somebody here between these two sides has to take that sacrifice, and it will depend in the 90 minutes, of course, of this match, who is really going with it. And looking at these two sides, Namibia rather lost to Zambia, and in the finals, and then 2017, that is the last time they took part as well. And Malawi have been just going to participate and never making it through the group stages, but now they want to get that monkey off their back and just try and maybe advance to the next stages. Oh well, oh well, oh well. It all takes 90 minutes of this match to decide who goes where and why. Well, you know, when that song starts playing, you know that everything is about to get the ball rolling. And a bit of a standing ovation from both sides, and the guests that are actually sitting on the stand, and the players are just both of them clapping for their teammates and clapping for their team to just encourage them and say, let's go get them, boys. And a bit of a greeting from one of the players. Oh, I can tell you that Malawi side has shifted things a little bit for this COSAFA Under-20 Youth Championship. And Namibia decided to keep things as they are, regardless of positioning that they are in. And Malawi wants to say, 3 points we want. we say thank you, and thank you one more time. Oh, it looks like this game will be ushered by 4 ladies. Oh my goodness, this is going to be an interesting one because they normally mix it and just add 1 gentleman, but this time around Leticia Viana, who was a 4th official previously on other games, it will be assisted by Diana Chikotesha, and the second assistant will be Clarice Simango from Zimbabwe, and Diana from Zambia, Leticia coming from Eswatini. Now, sisters will be ready to just monitor these young men in this game and just guide them throughout, as same way as the Akona Sheriff was able to just take charge of that game and just give the boys a good guidance. The referee says you choose a side. Would you like to go against the wind or with the wind? So it is very crucial that you will take those decisions wisely, just like this squad put up here, Namibia, having a simple 4-3-3 going forward. Nothing changed by James Bretts. Now looking at the Malawian side, having made a few changes, and likes of David Dawudi and Patrick Mwanguru in the center of the park alongside Chikondi Mbeta. Lanjesi Nkoma will be players that will be wanting to get the score. Now, you know what this means, right? All systems are just open. And the coaches will be saying to the youngsters, stay calm the best way that you can. That is the Malawian captain Haji Wali, who is a very influential player, this young man. And he will now want to monitor and just speak to his teammates against this man, Steve Damasub, an under 17 man of the match, and made his debut at Seychelles. Now, this is the main man, Patrick Mabedi, head coach of Malawi, a former South African footballer with Kaizer Chiefs. And against this man, James Bretts from Namibia. I can tell you that the wind is not doing justice to any of us, including our camera crews at the back. They just getting some push from the wind. If a cameraman is finding it hard to be steady, I can safely tell you that the wind speed is just getting thicker and faster, and it affects the gameplay. If you can see the trees are just blowing away like that, man, we can only hope that what coach Patrick Mabedi said, that keep the balls on the ground, and pass one another, keep the passes shorter rather than making them long, will be the best way for this team to survive, or any of the two sides. I mean, 3 points are at stake. The other one wants to make a 6, the other one wants to survive and at least find themselves making a 4. No, and off we go. Is that the whistle is gone? Malawi just colliding with each other there. And the Zambian side wanting to launch it forward to try and get a goal if they can. The ball played over, but Haji is there to just guide it into the keeper's hands. Played long by Malawi is just trying to get an early goal, which will be a best option for them. But seems like Zambian side are just clearing everything and getting everything out of the danger zone. Ball in the center, just calmly so. Connected by Chipenda Njambi Karumbe. coach forever on his feet and just encouraging his youngsters to keep going and keep going. A switch of play to the big man at the center there. That's Ngazikwe Katendu. Ball is played wide, the cross is put in. Well, a goal kick for Namibia to start it proper. Nicely driven to the number 9 by that man Giovanni Kanibab. Man has scored 8 goals already in his national team. A strike is taken, but well, ambitious he is. Anything can happen. We've seen balls taken outside the 18 area and just resulting into a goal. The coach will be very vocal, very loud, and shouting instructions to his players that they need to gear up, they need to be consistent with going forward. And for Namibia, you know very well that you've played one game and you've lost one, and getting 3 points would put them at a position where they need to fight another day. And if the game goes Malawi way, clearly Malawi are the team to advance, as well as Zambia, who have just beat Comoros. Ball in the center of the park, and a foul just happened. Now seems to be a missed kick or missed touch of the ball in the center, and ball in favor of Malawi. Now just advancing it, and can we get across from the young man, but decides to backpedal. That is Benua Kanji. The ball in the center of the park by Malawi. Poke it away, and that man Lanjesi Ngoma. Ball played on the side to Haji. Rather, not Haji. My apologies. That is Juninho Jansen. A big man, Ravuka Ngatenguo, picks that one. And that's Juninho Jansen. Malawi looking to go long, and just a long. And a draw still puts Malawi at a better place in this tournament, because they leave to fight another day too. So 2 sides that have hopes high in them. So, tiny man with pace. That is Yomikani Mulungeni. Ball driven long behind the defense, but cleared away by Malawi. Zambia is on the ball and punches it up. I think if they keep on playing them up, it's going to be a challenge for Namibia to just advance forward, because they would want to keep the ball down most of the time. As Prince Chueza, and a bit of a foul coming there from the young man finding Yamikani, but the ball not reaching him. Taking long, but still cleared. The center of the park seems to be congested with Patrick Mwanguru alongside David Dawoodi. Ball with to our friend David. The man is sitting on a yellow card. Oh, that is Chiwani David from a previous match. He got himself registered in the referee's books. Namibia trying by all means just push forward and do a high pressing, that is. The likes of Penuva, Kanji, just pushing forward, just putting pressure and pressure. Oh, Lanjesin Goma says, they holding me, refer. This man, that is Bajo Nashitra, who's playing his second game with the national team. No communication, no data, no network, brother. They should have communicated it better. That is Giovanni Kanebab. Malawi on the bike here have numbers in the box, but not sharing of the ball. And Jesse Ngoma could have laid it for his teammate who was right next to him. And this man, Baggio, just clears it away. Still a scrappy game by the 10 here. Denied the run by this man, but it still gives him the ball. And a shot has been taken in, and I can tell you that Malawi have gotten a goal. The keeper wasn't aware. Lanjesi Ngoma persisting and putting pressure. And then look at them now. They're saying we scored an early goal. Well, I can tell you Bajo Nashitra would know better when to clear the ball and how. If he doesn't clear the ball on time, look at how scrappy this ball is going to this man, Lanjesi Ngoma, who profits again and just puts pressure to Baggio, and Baggio eventually loses the ball, and he was just coming from the ground and just kept his ground again, putting pressure, and Baggio was unable to get that one cleared off. Keeper Rahuka Ngutangua was left ball watching. Here's a goal scorer, that is Lanjesi Ngoma, doing things that could be bookable. Can't be blowing your nose like this. Well, Namibia 0 and Malawi 1. An ambitious strike coming from that number 10, the Prince Chueza. Oh, he's got 6 goals for the national team, and a versatile player that is. The coach will then look at relocating his players, his troops. Played longer to somehow a player Tendu into the weakest link. The back heel to Malawi, that we've been across to find that big man again. It's just showing of start, and that's a bookable offense indeed, a non-negotiable young man, that is Zebron Kalima, who just showed stars when going for that ball. And, knew that he had no much of a intent to go for the ball. It was too far, was just making a jump, stretching himself rather, and it resulted into him being booked. Namibia now on the ball. That is Edma Kamatuka. Oh, Malawi quickly to win it and get it off the danger zone. That is their own half. Now the ball rolled to find a big man up front. That is the number 18 Lanjesi Ngoma. I think the wind is just playing its part as well. You can tell by the flag of the assistant ref on this side of the pitch. The ball launched long by Haji Wali, the captain. Just given instruction that go long. Back to this man Biliati. Again, the goal scorer, that is. The Malawian side would want to just keep the ball and just keep it running for themselves so that they don't concede. Now here's the big man, throws his body in front. I think he's find his target man there with that number 19 Baggio Nashitra, unable to contain the big man Lanjesi Ngoma. Now again Malawi in the front foot in the box, combining touches and too much weight on the ball. He could have taken responsibility himself and not laid it for Zebron Kalima. Yes, he was on the run and onside too, but an angle is very tight. Oh, the angle is tight. You don't do it like that. Ball with Edma Kamatuka, back to Kamatuka from Prince, and he whips in across. Can they get a goal? And here's the keeper charging out of nowhere. And this man, Jonito Jante, says, my man, if you bring them in like that, I'm most likely going to score them. Also, Juninho Jante. That's a beautiful show up by Juninho. And a good, beautiful equalizer. Let's give credit to Prince Chueza. And this man, Edma Kamatuka, just inviting the keeper with that cross, and it throws him out. And this man, Juninho Chueza, says, thank you for the pass. Thank you for inviting the keeper to your party. I will just stole this show for him. Well, good goal. Well, good comeback as well. 14 minutes into the game, already seeing 2 goals. Oh, another attempted goal going long. The ambitious strikes, and the wind also was going to give it a bit of a pressure. Oh, score confirmation says Namibia won and Malawi won. The beautiful, tired young man, that is Chipa Ninjambi Karumbe. Namibian names sound like very interesting names. Just lacking a name by Sarona. Well, told you that young man cannot take advantage and say, it's ladies, they want to give us cards. Oh, you're playing, young man, already. One has gotten themselves in the book. And I must say that officials are just doing a great job. And they're not favoring anyone. Well, a ball played and it deflects off the head, luckily for that man on the goalpost. Ruhuka Ngatangwa was able to just watch it away from the frame of goal. Now looking to maybe get a goal on this first stanza of the match. Corner. Some would say corner to goal, some say corner to counter. Well, rolled in it to the first pole, but they were lacking numbers. And the keeper was late. That is Ravuka. This time around, this man wasn't able to get himself in the goal scorer's books. That was Lanjesi Ngoma. A pace coming from Prince Chueza, able to get a cross in. All idea is find the big man, play them long. He will run them down, 17 versus 18. Now, if for fairness, Shikondi Mbela diving over the centre back Ngazikwe. But ref not giving a foul to Namibia. Here's the pass that resulted into him being kicked. No, it was simply 50 to 50-50 rather a challenge, because they were both going for the ball, but he had gotten it first and he then got fouled. Seems like we saw a yellow card being issued here to one of the Namibian players. Just confirm it for you shortly. So we are up to speed. A ball played in across, but no one to get that one right. Really, a player who got this yellow card is Penyua Kanji. And from that incident where you saw Yamigani on the ground, just feeling a bit of pain from that 50-50 challenge, which resulted into him winning the ball. And Penyua Kanji was unable to again in the final third. That is Malawi just throwing their bodies, throwing the ball in there and having equivalent numbers to try and compete for it. A good tackle coming from the young man Edma Kamatuka to Prince Chueza. A bit of a kicking and everything that is happening here. A bit of aggression. I think referees need to calm the players down, because I think there's a lot of blood rush to the head, and just they make a clumsy decision that could cost the team. Find themselves booked. Now, what a touch, coming from Zibron Kalima, who then finds this man who could have made a turn and took a better shot, but was unable to. Here's a big man again, making several turns with nobody really closing him in. There's Lanjesi Ngoma. A ball laid in, just trying to whip in across. Obviously the keeper thought he could reach for that one, but the wind saying it'll just float towards the penalty spot. A switch of play with no direction there. Now Penyuva Kanji, man on a yellow card, is there trying to clear the ball out of danger. Still Malawi on the front foot here and just putting those crosses, looking for their big man. That is Yamikeni Mulungeni, who just put in a good cross to find Lanjesi Nkoma. pass to Edma Kamatuka. And then to that man who's showing some a bit of pace, that is Prince Chueza. Ball for Namibia to try and knock on heaven's doors, try and get a shot, and then strike a bit of an eye-opener for the keeper that it could come at any time. That is Benua Kanji, who just that is actually not that man. Now, we can only say that Steve Damasab was the one with the attempted goal. Now, it's 17, that is Chikondi Mbeta, who finds Zebron Kalima, puts in a good cross, a keeper indecisive with that one, but recovers very well to put a good block and a body in front of the ball. And it's just Chikondi Mbela with a smile and just saying, I could have buried that chance. And a keeper like Ruhuka Ngatungwe was able to charge off his line, especially coming from making an error. He's redeemed himself. Emmanuel Munyela to find Zebron Kalima, but first touch not the greatest this time around. Patrick Mabedi is just up on his feet and encouraging the players and say, head up. Well, sometimes that's all you need. You don't need the shouting. The coach would just motivate you and bring you back to speed and bring you back to life. Well, resuscitate your thinking. Sometimes you just say, it happens. It's football, but keep your head up and let's keep going. We are 23 minutes into this game, and I can tell you that it's been nothing but an interesting match. And Yumikane Mulungeni is an energetic youngster who's making sure that Edma Kamatuka does not get too comfortable on his side. Ball whipped in by Benua Kanji. Now a strike is coming from Namibia just to force the keeper to pull a save. Well, there's no time to rest. There's no time to rest. Hesting Banda. If you look at that strike coming from this man, Steve Damasab, that's his second strike in a space of 2 minutes. Whenever they get to that side, he's more likely to have the appetite to take on those strikes. Well, corners are sitting on 2 for Malawi and Namibia on 1 corner. Ball is nicely driven to the first ball, but cleared away, and Prince Chueza has wanted to win it back. He couldn't return it at first, had to go all the way back, which means gives a chance for Malawi to charge out, for Malawi to push forward. Now a ball is played on the side, but an offside call has been given to Namibia. Say well positioned Manam, cooling break it is now. So both sides will go to their coaches and get to hear what instructions they have in store for them. What can they do better? And temperature still 21 degrees and wind speed sitting on that 35 kilometers an hour, which is the heavy speed for the type of ball that is used for this match. There's a speed ball. If you look at the way they got these goals, both sides, I mean, look at that pass coming from that main man, Steve. Rather, not Steve, but the shot coming from Lanjesi Ngoma was nothing but of interest. Steli Billiat was the orchestrator of that ball, and Lanjesi, who fell down, quickly gained his feet, and he was able to just put his body in front and win the ball from an awkward angle. He still wins the ball, and Bajo Nashinchwa was unable to clear that one at first. And then Namibia said, let's rather return the favor early. Look at that Emma Kamatuka with that inviting drive to find Juninho Janse, who was just at the right place at the right time, and meeting the ball halfway, was able to just jump and simplify it to just pass it into the net, and nothing fancy or complicated. I'll say that whoever was marking him, that is Josefi Balaski, was too far out to mark that one. Again, it was a bold chance, and a strike was taken, but the keeper was up for a task there. Strategies given to players, and the keeper would know that Husting Panda would know what he needs to do with that ball, because the coach says find a way or pass it somewhere where we can perhaps get a chance to score. Well, if things end up with 1-1, we then have another day for these sides to fight for. Goes along to find Prince Chueza. And a 10 there by Namibia, just forcing it in the corner and just denying Malawi the opportunity to win that ball. It might be too early to tell, but a draw is something that Malawi wouldn't want, because now it would mean that Namibia has a point. They then play a next match, that is Namibia. They then win with a large margin, and then what does that tell you? When Namibia play their final match, Kali is keeping nice and warm there on the stand at the main man, with the conditions of such conditions really require a big heart, a big crew with a big heart. We see you and we appreciate these images that you give us, quality. I know that your hands might be freezing, Bramex, one of the senior in this game. Referee says you need to calm down, and having a decent chat and saying keep it calm. Chipenda Njambi Karumbe. Ball is launched long in search of Giovanni Kandibub. Is now putting pressure on the keeper, and nobody's supporting or creating an option for the keeper, and then the keeper is forced to rather go long. That is Husting Panda. Again launched high to try and find there lucky number 9. pass gone wrong here. And Malawi starting on the front foot and claiming to be fouled. That is Chikondi Mbeta. And it is that man, the target man, as far as the weakest links are. That is Baggio Nashitra. Oh, they had beat him on a run here and they put his body in front just to deny that Chikondi Mbeta's run. Was a tall player, frustrated and just frustrated, especially considering that goal being considered through him. Rauka Ngatengwa has to guide his team and tell them where to go. Zebron Kalima. I know it's a very tight or close angle, but going for goal would be something he wants to do, and maybe a pocket is opening up for him to just drill it through. Maybe force the keeper to pull a save, or maybe go for that first ball with power and a good swing too. It would be something of interest. No, Zebron Kalima. Zebron Kalima puts power on it, but keeper had a strong arm. That is Rahuka Gatangue. Had so much power. No, keeper was able to save it the second time. No, game is still on, and Edma puts in a crosser to find. That's a man who just has a first touch. That is not convincing Prince Chueza. The ball is gone to that big man Giovanni, who's opted to come too deep and find the ball because he hasn't been getting much of the balls, so it becomes a challenge for him when he's staying too high and not playing. I say it was a good technique and met with a keeper with reflexes. He realized that actually the ball is not going all the way to the other side, and well saved just before the line. So there's nobody who's going to request for reviews. Swinger played in, keeper. It comes out, Hastings Banda. Ball in the center of the park. It is against Malawi, which means that that park is a bit congested, especially that center. They have a Zebron Kadima, Stanley Biliati, and David Daoud, Patrick Maunguru for the Malawian side. Swung in by Namibia, trying to find Edma Kamatuka. Coach says, why are you chipping them rather than you playing short? Throw-in has been awarded to Malawi. Namibia to try and get another goal from that main man, the goal scorer. A pass, not a successful one. Could have simplified it. That is Chueza. He had Edma Kamatuka on the far left hand side. Now press has been put on this man, trying to put a team in danger that is Hastings Banda, and Giovanni Cannibab says I'll put pressure on you. If you take your chances with me, I have the pace, and I will definitely use it. So Mabedi just talking and just unimpressed and not impressed at all with the decision making coming from one of his goalkeepers. Ball headed away. We've got a number of substitutions that you could make use, but not yet. Emmanuel Hamunyela, Denzel Habib. Oh, keeper again making another error. That's really going to be a worrying factor for coach. Just being all expressive and expressive. How the keeper is just making those errors. And now here's a big man, Lanjesi Nkoma, puts in a cross. There's a 2v1 header and a bicycle kick. Not the greatest. He knocked that man out, and he just hugs him as Ngakuzu contended. Coach Patrick Mabedi, listen to that. Says he needs to wake up. There's a big man going for the ball, but there's other intention, and it caught him right on the neck. That is, and he claims to be the one who was fouled. And as is Chikondi Mbeta gets his own registration in the referee's books. And Mbeta. And the young man is not feeling any dizzy. He's just fine. Oh, the big and strong. And here to fight for his country. The ball is played long by that man Rahuka Ngatengu. Here's Biliati, who's just issuing passes to his two strikers every time when he gets the ball. He's got an idea where to take the ball or to who he's directing it to. A handball is supposed to stand there, but Yomukeni gets it. A good drive off the ball and the header. That Shikondi Mbeta could have just punched it more harder. Would have been a good goal. Must say, Yomukani has been putting some extra work here. Just decides to put a nice weight, and it finds his teammate, right? But he seems to Chikondi Mbeta to rather cushion it than to just punch it back into the net. He's up there already with his teammate defending, and sticking to his role. Yomigani will take this set piece right next to his coach, who says take it this way, just drive it. Two tall men again. Oh, seems to be a pushing that happened there. We've already seen 3 corners in this match. Yes, this man Rauka Ngatengue goes for a long range pass to try and find that man Givano Kanibab, and it seems to be headed back into the game. But it's still high ball for Namibia to try and maybe keep it down and get a goal. Maybe. What was it? Now here's Namibia on a counter here with that man Giovanni trying to be all tricky and get a proper pass, but a handball coming off from Kanibab. Giovanni. Oh, this man is offside indeed. That run was not well timed. Header cleared away from those long balls coming from the keeper, that is Rahuka Ngatengua. And a pace coming from Stanley Biliati, who's got a 2-on-1 situation then, eventually being dispossessed the ball and cleared off the danger zone and start over as a throw-in. I've got a bit of a note to take or to draw it down, especially when 45 minutes is about to elapse, with just a minute away, and of course the referee's regulation time will also be considered in this the first half. Yamikani not getting a return pass that was sufficient enough for him to play from coming from Stanley Biliat. The referee says I have obstructed play, so I have to give you guys a retake. Not a retake, bounce it for you. I think going into the change room, coaches will rather say to his young stars, I'd rather keep the ball down, as per my interview, saying that we will just pass each other and not play high balls, but I've seen most of the balls are being played high. And if you look at Namibia, what they've been doing is just pumping it and pumping it and pumping it to the number 9, trying to find that Giovanni Kanibab.
No, no.
And thirsty or hungry for a goal. Well, a draw is still something to hold your breath and hope that things go the other way for the other side and one side wins it. Well, Group B encounters becoming very interesting. The ball again played between the pacey man who finds a Biliat, and a Biliat whips in across the score, bounces back to him with a volley of some sort, but not the greatest like he had wanted it to be. He was going for the right, was going the right direction rather, and again, they go long. This time around it doesn't even cross the half on its best height. It rather bounces off Yomikani. Finds that man who's been quiet, Patrick Mwangura, who then brings back to Biliat. Ball won by the centre back Emmanuel Hamuniela. Here's Prince Chueza, who finds that man is Steve Damasab, and a cross is being put in. But Prince Chueza, as much as he added pace and appetite to that ball, is just not for him. Ball with Namibia here, that is Edma Kamatuka to find that man, and a cross has been played in, and the keeper was not covering the first pole, and Namibia is saying we will then say thank you, Giovanni. I mean, if you look at how these balls have been coming in, being played long, and it's additional time coming from this man, Penua Kanji rather, and giving this man, Giovanni Kanipab, the goal scoring opportunity, and Kanipab not wasting anything to it, and Haji Wali likes the ball watching, and the most animated coach is the most excited coach, especially at these at additional time. There's Giovanni Kanipab who gets his goal right this time around. Well, it's half time, and Coach Patrick Mabedi will be disappointed with his players after having to start on the front foot going forward. This man had to cause an upset and lack of concentration from that man. However, Juninho Jante was the one to score the opening goal for Namibia. Malawi really did lose some sort of a concentration when it comes to their defensive mode. They became weaker and weaker, and the likes of Emmanuel Hamunyala and Haji Wali were unable to defend this one. Well, Namibia goes into the change room leading 2, and Malawi chasing with a goal. If you look at the chances that they had, as far as Malawi's, and a scrappy pass to find that man Lanjesi Ngoma from Stanley Billiard, and Lanjesi still persisted and went on to put pressure on the defender, that is Baggio, who initially had played the ball and won it, but he brought it into the favor of Lanjesi Ngoma, and Ngoma, after coming from the ground, was able to just get up and put more pressure, and until he then scored the opening goal. Edmar Kamatuka is a player who just combined with Prince Chueza and Edgar, putting good weight and good height on the ball, and inviting a ball to just to draw the keeper out of the goal post, and he was able to get Hastings Banda in a wandering land to just give a profit to Juninho Jante from that beautiful cross. I mean, you can come back from that, because a corner kick then happened. Ball ricocheted to find that this man Rahuka was up to the task. Namibia tried to just keep on knocking and poaching this man who was able to be up for a task. Even the set piece was just good enough for this man Rahuka to save it at second attempt, and a good reflexes, I must say, that he was able to bring his body back and just guide the ball all the way to the ground. This man who was a lethal crosser, that is Yamikeni Mulungeni, he was on his bike again and got a good cross. Well, very enticing cross. It was just unlucky they couldn't get this one at the back of the net, that is Chikonde Mbeta. Well, here's another option for the likes of Giovanni Kanipab. He scored that one simpler. Well, halftime statistics, I can tell you one thing, that Malawi kept on coming and coming, but Zambia, Malawi and Namibia were just not having it. 59 ball position and 41 in favor of Namibia. Oh, welcome back to a very interesting second half, should we say, between these two sides, Namibia and Malawi. I can tell you that whatever happened or conversations that were taking place in the change room would be of interest if we had cameras or ears in there. I would really want to see the animated reactions from both coaches in this match, because a match that will just put a twist in a whole lot of things, and I can tell you we really are up for a very interesting the second half of this match. Oh, there are substitutions already that are just about to take place. Now we having to bring on a fresh legs. Oh, I don't really know how is a substitution that is taking place. It wasn't expected. That is a Biliati coming off, and they bringing on Andrew Sikola. So I don't understand how you bring out a player who's bringing those crosses and just try to get into the box most of the time. And maybe coach has things under his sleeves, unleashing a different tactic, a different approach. You can say that well, now we have brought in Andrew Sikola, who only played 7 minutes at the previous encounter, and now we're given an opportunity to have this whole the second half. And I think he plays football in Kefu, with Kefu Celtic in Zambia. Ball is already launching, and a kick coming from that big man, unable to find it or connect with it. Well, second half of the standard, as Namibia 2, Malawi is sitting on 1 goal. And, it's gonna be a high speed, high tempo match this one, because someone has got to survive and someone has got to suffer. Well, they always say others are accompanying it, others are here to see it, and others are here to take it. And what is that? It's the trophy. You participate in the tournament with a decent squad, the likes of Prince Chueza, lucky number 10, and Stephen Damaset for the Namibian side, who've been very influential in this game. Substitutions, you remember they brought on Xavier McLean in the previous match. Maybe they'll look into making those subs in the 70th, 75th minute. And now it's all about the set piece. If it'll convert into a goal, we can wait to see that. Whoever says do not obstruct the keeper, you better keep your position. And if any contact with the keeper, I will blow the whistle. And he's slowly shuffling away from the keeper. Now he joins the line, because the ref has told him. Lots of Haji Wali are also there in the box to add on some height. A bit of a pushing coming from Giovanni. And that main man, Andrew Sikola, who just came on as a sub. No, we wait and wait as he floated in with nobody carrying it better, but out of the danger zone is all that matters as far as Namibia are concerned. Still Malawi on the front foot in their half. It's, passing each other. We've got a Malawian side at the likes of Haji Wali, the centre back, and Josefi Balaski. Haven't seen much of him moving forward. And you're wondering if the likes of David Tawudi will maybe finish this game, considering that he's seen less of the ball. And maybe the coach will look into bringing the likes of Believe June and Blessing Mpokera. Oh, well, Emmanuel Saviel was one of the players that came on Maybe they'll look at that. You can see there's a bit of a high tempo approach in this second stanza. I shouldn't be shocked at how it all starts. We know very well that the first 10 minutes are just a high speed, high tempo game. Then they start dropping along the way. That's a goal scorer, that is Chonino Janze. A foul given in favor of Namibia. Aji Iwali unable to pinpoint the pass to that man Zebran Kalima. Malawi's a chance to get ahead. I'll say that Andrew Sikola came on to replace Billiard, who was on a yellow card, of course. And, this time around again, Andrew Sikola comes on to then replace Billiard. And Lanjesing Goma was came on as a sub to replace Zizwa Hanja Honja, rather. Another big man up front, that is Chikondi Mbeta. Wasn't a part of the squad that played against Comoros. But, he's now started and already on a yellow card. Oh, here's a plan played to this man. He was just caught offside, Prince Juez. I think he had timed his run right. It'd be a beautiful masterpiece of a goal coming from that set piece. All the expectation was that they go for goal. Well, they need to learn more from Kenneth Erasmus. He does those runs very well. He's now ending his stride with now handball protesters there, but in favor of Namibia, not Malawi. A bit of long-range shot again. It's the only way that Namibia is going to play this game. Now cross is played in, a bit of pushing, but a big man Giovanni, the goal scorer, stands strong, and then it goes out to find the Prince Chueza, but shot by Edma Kamatuka, no powerful enough to bother this young man on the goal post. It's all about concentration. Playing to Chueza, but poor cross, and well, the plan was to go for the last pole again, and not making that connection he wants. The Malawian Super League is already underway. That's having played 3 games against. Now ball could have played in by Chueza, but he was just too far out. That man Penua Kanji has a good run and a well-timed tackle, though. Must give credit to where he's true to Emmanuel Hamunyela. tell you that the Super League in Malawi is 3 games up now, and the Red Lions are the ones that are just sitting on the top. Crosses played in, intercepted by Haji Wali there, who then they find a good front foot trying to advance ahead, and a foul has been given to Malawi. I tell you, the likes of Chitipa United are sitting on number 15. Header is cleared there. So Nyasha, a big bullet, a team that has a few players in this national team, the likes of Lanjesi Koma, Patrick Mwanguru, and Swallows Academy as well is there, and Windhoek United is also represented there. The Silver Strikers is also one of the teams that are sitting on number 14 on their log, and a few of their junior academy players are within this squad assembled by this man. That is Patrick Mabedi. So in search of a equalizer, that is Namibia. That is Malawi rather. Now here's the main man, Giovanni goes for a shot. Oh, awkward angle, but it's worth a try. It's worth a try. If you could Malawi Premier League also is just this is the Namibian Premier League rather. Well, not properly cleared by Malawi. Good turn coming from Pignol. All right. 1985 was founded this Premier League in Namibia. Seems to be well represented as well. Cross is swung in, and the keeper comes out out of reach there, saved by the ref. Should we say, because it didn't look like he was going to make contact with the ball. Oh, Malawi already making another substitution, bringing on number 10, that is coming on, and Patrick. Now this man, Maloya, came on as a sub earlier in the previous encounter, and now again Maloya. You know, when I say Maloya, I'm very proud of saying this surname, because it used to be a popular song in South Africa. Mtuma Silela. You know, back in the days of Kwaito music. You know, sing about anything that you see. If you see someone walking at night in the 4 a.m., you then name a song and say Maloya. Townships are very good with good titles for Kwaito songs. Now ball launch longer to find that big man, and a push coming from Ngaziku Katendu. Ref says number 2, no, Lanjesi Nkoma. He's the man who was pushed there. Okay, nicely flown in ball, and he opted to just push him. And the ref is at a close view to just pick that one up. Oh no, Prima Loya actually started with the game and they finished with it. He did not come in as a sub. No. Only Lanjesi Ngoma came on as a sub, and Andrew Sikola already is on the field of play. Hastings Banda is still sitting on the goal post there. Malawi looking into converting that one, putting so much power on it, but crossbar just came on, and already taking a set piece. Is not even that warm. He is just ready to take a set piece, likes of Obrim Maloya. Again, goal kick launched long. Can't start it at the back, and it's a worrying factor. Because if you have a team that is full of football players, you'll struggle. Oh, well, my goodness. If you see some skill coming there. I mean, if he makes a 10 and a striker, but denied Lanjesin Goma. I must say, I saw Zebran Kalima there with a bit of a skill and then taking in. You know, could have been a smart one. Now, look at that pass, huh? And a blind pass with enough power on it just to drop it at the right place. And before he's offside, so that is Lanjesi Ngoma. Putting pressure on each other. Oh, we haven't forgotten about you on the social pages. That is Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. We remain COSAFA under 20. Haji Wali, haven't seen much of him going forward. Has been sitting at the back, just pumping those balls, pumping them up. And, hasn't materialized for them, but a missed header coming from Benyu Kanji. Pass not directed to anyone. Also well intercepted. Another interception coming from Josefi Palaski. People are just on the edge of their seats now, right here on the stands, and just not okay with the scoreline. And I'll tell you, substitutions are going to happen in numbers when there's no goal happening. Ball swung wide there, but indecisive by Chikondi Mbeta. Now this man Penyu Kanji pushing forward, trying to find Edma Kamatuka, but intercepted again by Josefi Palaski, who's also on the bike to find Lanjesing Koma, and denied the run there. I think number 13 is coming right now, Baggio Nashitra, who's gifted a goal for Malawi. You know, this young man comes on, and they bring out well, this young man hasn't had minutes of the game. That is Giovanni Nathalio Narib. He gets a moment to just play and add some minutes to his legs. Mr. Nathalian. Mr. Nathalian Narib. Chipenda Njambi was a player to be sacrificed, has been quiet in the second half of this match. So coach says better early than later. Long ball is played, and Wali Haji says, I will jump higher than you. Cleared away by Malawi, getting it out of the danger zone. New man, fresh legs, already putting in a cross into the box. But Joseph Balashki is blocked by Giovanni Nathalian Narib. Quick play is what you're going to experience. Yes, quick play is what you're going to see. I mean, Coach Patrick Mabedi knows what is happening and why is the clock ticking so fast. I'll tell you, there's a bit of conversation now from some of the colleagues. The Malawian side are just giving instructions to who plays where and how they're supposed to play. As the Namibia on the front foot getting that cross, but that's a young man, Josefi Balaski Alet. That's Alet level 1. That is just clearing the ball here. I can tell you, everybody, when they mention the word Alet, you just worry. Because it says alert level 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. You know, something is going to happen. Or we hope for the best, and jumps high and doesn't find anyone there. No, here's the main man, Lanjesi Ngoma, who's out of the box, and a cross has been put in. But keeper comes out to just pile it away. Ball with this man who's trying to get those crosses in. Zebron Kalima. Cleared away from a danger zone. Again, finds this man, Josefi Balakasi. Coach Patrick Mabedi quickly gives these players the ball to just try and go get on a counter. Well, 65 minutes has gone by, and it seems like as things stand, we'll see Namibia 2 still and Malawi 1. That means that Namibia will be on 3 points, which means that they are even with well, here's a header coming on, and that's a big man just putting his body, then obstructing the keeper until the ref just gave advantage to the keeper and said, Lanjesi, you're now infringing the keeper, and a card will be issued to this main man, and this is his a second warning. So this time around he then gets a yellow, and the referee says a third time, I'm sending you to take a shower. This is Lanjesi Ngoma. Just walking away because a bit of frustration now. He's putting pressure on everything and everyone is just bouncing off people most of the time. Oh, here's that header that was played, and he had his hand sticking out to block, and then he kicked the keeper as was going down for the ball, and yes, it's a bookable offense without a doubt. There's a bit of pushing again in the center from that man, David Dawoodi. As I was saying, that right now Malawi will then leave to fight another day. They won't be out yet because it's gonna be Namibia's first win, which puts them at a better place by getting 3 points, and them and Malawi will be on 3 points each. And means that it all depends on how these matches will turn out of the last games of the Group B. And check there that Malawi has a game against, will have a game against Zambia on the 9th. And Namibia will face Comoros on the 9th as well. So both of these matches will be broadcast simultaneously, so makes it even more interesting if Namibia walks out with a win here, because both teams will have something to play for, and both teams will be sitting on the edge of their seats hoping to see if one of them doesn't win their game. And a very interesting fixture that is on the 9th of December at 3:30 local time, that is. It's a very tight one. It's just how sometimes things turn out, and how sometimes things just happen. Not everything has to be concluded early in the second stanzas of the tournament. Sometimes you wait until the last day of the tournament to just see who's taking this one or who's advancing to the next round. Well, a number of whistle blown in the match as well. Just of interest is that every moment there's a conference. Now a new man in the park is going to try and take on Josefi Palaski, and Palaski was able to obstruct him and get to win that ball, but his pass lacks address. No, a new man in the park trying. Giovanni Nathalian Narib. So again, there's a cooling break that is at the 70th minute of the game. 70th minute of the game, and looks promising for both sides.
Hey, not entering the field.
Oh, the wind speed is at 35 kilometers an hour, and the temperature is still on 21 degrees. I can tell you that Patrick Mabidi would have to come and strategize here. It's either they keep the ball down, they then pass one another most of the time. Oh, here's that early goal that was scored and on the near post by Giovanni Kanibab, who really exploited that fist pole, and the keeper couldn't cover it fully. Well, the animated coach was there to be happy. Oh, a few minutes remaining, of course, and a few words from the two coaches, just to say, Namibia would say, probably, let's keep the ball, let's keep shape, let's move as a team, as a unity. We'll consolidate this one with a win. And if there's room for us to get an extra goal, why not? Oh, is that a new man, lucky number 10, all tucked in. Number 10, that isn't. Can he maybe give Malawi the goal that they need? An equalizer, rather. No, ball is played in and hit out, but clearance of the ball. What the? Just bodies there behind the ball, and it's just able to defend and carry it off. A bit of a panic on the Malawian side. If I tell you, if they were to keep the ball on the ground, they have players that are actually ball players, players that can keep it well with their combination play. There's a run there, but it should be a foul given it to Malawi. The big man himself, Ngazingwe Kantendu, was obstructed by Maloya. And, he was in front, Maloya, but Ngazingwe Kantendu gets himself that foul. Now Patrick Mabedi is issuing instructions and can't sit down now. The coach has to find a way on how to just get back into this game. Now here's another ball player that could be getting closer to the likes of Chikonde Mbenta, Lanjesi Nkoma and Zebron Kalima and Andrew Sikola. If they were to keep the ball on the ground, they would most likely exploit the two centre backs that seemingly can't be comfortable with the ball or are not comfortable with the ball on the ground, but anything that is high, they're definitely going to win it and clear it away. So the interview said we'll keep the ball and pass, but panic play is what is happening on the Malawian side. It's just panic buttons after the other, or even a ball that is not sanitized is brought into play by the coach. And the coach is even picking a ball up and saying, which one do you choose? Defensive Ngazinkuwe Kandetu is having his legs stretched out there, forced to make those runs and guide this man, and Jesse Nkoma, the goal scorer. Giovanni Kanibab denied a 10 there. Ball in the center, and Namibia finding a Prince Chueza. That's denied by Haji Uwali. I was hoping maybe he would add a number up front, maybe in the last dying minutes of the game. Oh, that's a dangerous back pass coming from David Dawoodi. The fresh legs that came on into the park earlier. Andrew Sikola, who started with the previous game. This one, he comes off the bench. It's all bodies and just throwing your bodies in front and protecting whatever you have. No foul there. Well, it's a throw in. Choninho Ujante. And Patrick Mabedi playing fair. They're becoming a ball boy of this match, and balls need to be sanitized, but insist on the ball that just came out to be used. Be careful there, coach. You are putting players at risk. Well, cross the blade in, and a protest for a handball, which is a given because the assistant ref had her flag up, and the ref has read it. Oh, seems to be a man down on the far side of the park, and that man. Oh, here's the request for a handball, and yes, it was a handball. It came off his lap to his arm, and then he quickly turned. So basically, he slowed down the pace of the ball with his arm, and then hoped to turn and shoot. And to go, well, a good call by the assistant ref. Picked that one up, timing her answer very well. A big man like Andrew Sikola is forced to come deep and collect. Now here's a chance for Malawi to score a goal, but ricochets, and the keeper recovers very well, and he then grabs it quickly. Now here's a chance where he could have just maybe full-laced it instead of placing it. And then Jesse, your keeper is already out, and It's just maybe had dropped the shoulder again. The keeper already committed on a dive and chipped it over him. Zebron Kalima launches it long to find that man Lanjesi, putting trouble again. And there's number 10, Primaloya, also trying to put support on Lanjesi. Time-wasting tactics when you've got all the time in the world to do anything that you want. You know what? Maybe inside of a player coming to be ready to come on. And young man from Swallows Academy. He is a skillful man, and well, you are trailing from behind, and a bit of a shibobo there, coming from Andrew Sikola. Oh, Namibia seems to be enjoying themselves now. Have time for skills as well. Good call by that centre back there, Emmanuel Hamunyela, saying keeper come and get this one, and cushions it for him to just charge and grab that one. A substitution by Namibia. A man who's found himself in the scoring books is making way for another player who will be looking into finding a goal. That is Denzel Narib. Denzel, we know Denzel's in movies, and now we see them in football. It's a beautiful name though. Welcome, Mr. Denzel. Blowing the whistle and just was a handball there and came off a Namibian player. Oh, Haji Wali going long, trying to find Zebron Kalima, who seems to have a skill and loses the opponent and wins himself a corner. And a solid man that is sitting there. That is to Hafeni David. Corner that will really require a better defensive mode, a better level of thinking, because this is a team that is trailing behind. Now, nicely drilled in, but that poke just saved it away from the box. Here's another man poking it to the far post, but keeper just putting his hands there, giving it a different direction away from the frame of goal, which is a good save, I should say. He was alert, not trying to be fancy too much. He's a man whose concentration is just up. Nicely played long, but unable to just find the back of the net for Malawi. Or brought back to this man who's trying to skill his way in, and he loses the ball in the danger zone, and now it's a 3v3, well, 1-on-1, and he results into Rusikola making that foul. Well, this is a bookable offense. I mean, tripping a player from behind, stepped on his leg there, on his foot, rather his heel, should we say, and just denied him that run he was on. conceded a goal earlier on. Which direction are they going to take it? Well, he goes straight for goal. The keeper as nine-man Namibian side making a substitution and taking out the goal scorer, that is Giovanni Canibab. There's a ball coming out on the other side of the pitch, and Ronan Bennett it comes on and is maybe going to add. There's a running Bennett. Oh, there's a quick 50-50 challenge, but won by that man who came on as a sub, Nathaniel Narib, who finds running Bennett back to Nathaniel, who puts in a cross. Namibia looking for that goal in this remaining minutes of the game. It's just in the hunt for a third one, because they know that goals will play a part if they walk out with a win here. And come their next game, should Malawi win their game and they win with less games, then Namibia means will win with more games, and it'll put Namibia at a better place. And I must say that not all is lost for both of these sides. Rather, Namibia, after losing this match, because they sit on 3 and each 3 actually, so it's an open group for 2 teams, and one team will have to do a favor for the other if there is any in the group that is willing to open their net and say, score us as many as you want. Say, we will just not allow you to score a goal. A draw will also be better for us, which is also a consolation for a team that hasn't registered a win. That'll be a very interesting game, and hope Patrick Mabedi not impressed with what is happening. He's shouting at the ref. Still a mission in the center of the park, and this man Lanjesin Koma now taking responsibilities and trying to dish out a pass to find Zebron Kalima, but when intercepted by that man Ngazuko Kantendo of the Namibian side, with the 2 tall men at the back. Well, shot is taken, but blocked by Haji Wali. Haji Wali trying to find Yamikani Mulugeni. Oh, Namibia's ball again, but David Dauda says we will thank you for that pass played longer to Obri Maloya. Now here's a chance for Malawi to get back in this game, and Yamikani cuts it back in, and it finds another man who just takes a strike, but not too much venom coming from Andrew Sikola. And again it's so Malawi with a chance. Not a chance for them to score. That is Andrew Obri Maloya. Keeping the ball on the ground and keeping the ball on the ground and passing one another in the final third for Malawi would be better. Anything that is played high. Those 2 tall men at the back are just not creating any room, poke anything that comes their way. And you have a player like Lanjesin Koma who should be keeping them at bay and creating spaces with off the ball runs for the likes of Zebron Kalima to tack in, the likes of Andrew Sikola to come on, and Chikondi Mbeta has been a very quiet player. I would have thought maybe a substitution was imminent for him. A ball with Josefi Balaski. Again, here's the tall man who's just a tower, that is Ngaziku Katendu. Kandetu. Ball played to Prima Lawyer and wins himself a foul there. Oh, here's another chance for Malawi to come back into this game and maybe get a goal from this set piece. Because anything that they orchestrated seems to be a frustration for them. It seems to be not happening for them, so they would rather now opt to find a goal during this set piece. And they then going to start having a scaffolding and a pushing and a shoving. And the ball whipped in to find any Malawian players, and the referee says there is no handball in that area. There was no contact from the hand. Oh, nicely whipped in to find Prima Lawyer in the chest, but unable to just keep it at bay. And keeper just playing it wide there. No, Maloya is still putting pressure, and everybody just pressing Maloya and pressing him. And playing along. Oh, keeper says wait and wait, but Russia to the head, element of fear. Also kicking in for Tuhafeni David. No. Well, now we are about to dig in the pocket of additional time and try and find a few minutes. That will be 3 minutes added on this second stand on this drama that is happening here. Twist of things is happening here. A group that will be open and open and open for another day. Two sides that will not say they are bowing out. Two sides that will say we have to live and fight another day. So not all is lost in any of these sides, because they now even with points. It all goes down to the wire in this group. I think sometimes people call it, they jinx it. Well, here's a chance for Malawi to get an equalizer here. In this instance, a good chest coming from the main man, but no chance of Chikondi Mbeta to get that one right. He's an unhappy man, having put it on his chest, and then it bounces away from him instead of it just sitting on the chest so that he'll be able to volley it in. Now ball with that silent man on the side, that is Baggio. Oh. Nathalian Narib to Hafeni David, and coming out of the danger zone with an intent to catch them on a counter. Referee says coach says the game is amper klar. Oh, that one I know. It says almost finished. Just hang in there, young boys. Hang in there, my boys. You've put in a good fight. Oh, counter at its best, and can they get a third goal with the striker? That's just a few inches away from the frame of a goal. He would have loved to score this one and run in a bandit. coach is just up on his feet and his instruction, everything. And it would be nice to just see his animation most of the time. Now, what a good pass there to just keep that man, and whips in across and a header that could have resulted into Nathaniel Narib scoring the third goal of the game. But the referee says it's okay, young boys, it's all right. You've had enough, and Namibia dominated. They wanted it more. Namibia showed resilience. Namibia was unstoppable. Well, Namibia profited from errors. Namibia took advantage of Malawi wherever they can. And this man won't be happy that is hosting a panda. That it all goes down to say thank you, and thank you, Prince Chuaza, your divine intervention, and smiles all round for this tall man, Ngazikuwe Kantendu. And of course, centre back who just added some solidarity in the centre. And the Denzel Narib that came onto the park were able to sustain this pace. Well, it is Namibia 2 and Malawi 1, a full-time score. I can tell you, this man came on and started taking set pieces. That is Opi Maloya, but it came away. It just blew off. We thought it deflected, but weight of the wind just blew it away. Here comes another chance by Zebron Kalima with some racket skills there, and a strike coming from Lanjesi Ngoma, who just did not connect right with that ball, but had he added maybe an extra touch, would have been a beautiful goal, or he would have saw maybe one of his teammates who are already making a run into the box. Again, that is the main man, Lanjesi, just getting into with there. The ball ricocheted and saved before the line by this defender, and the keeper went through his legs. However, this man, Tuafeni David, was able to clear this one before it crosses the line. It just went underneath the keeper's armpits. And in disbelief, that is Lanjesi in coma. Now here's the striker corner to the keeper, but nothing much to trouble him. Good weight, good height, but the positioning of the keeper was just better. And coach says, thank you, fair game, coach. Well, the statistics are just saying to you, 15 goal attempts coming from Namibia and 12 coming from Malawi, and 57 ball position for them and 43 for Namibia.
A thoroughly entertaining clash here between Namibia and Malawi. Our man of the match that joins me today, it is Giovanni Canida. Giovanni, congratulations. I mean, your goal was the difference with today's game. How do you feel about that?
I'm feeling very well because the game was very tough, and I was feeling very well.
Let's talk about the instruction from the coach. Going into the halftime, the team was leading, and coming into the second half, it was a matter of slowing things down.
And the coach was telling us in the dressing room, we must put pressure on them, we must keep the ball, we must play very hard, and we must move with the ball, we must take on the prize.
Congratulations, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you guys.
Giovanni, that won the player of the match accolade for today's game, as it was his goal that was the big difference between the two sides. Coach Patrick, appreciate your time. You did talk about the team being able to play the ball on the ground, and we saw bits and pieces of that, not so much, and the ball being floated around. Your summation?
Look, listening is a very good skill. If you don't listen, you get punished. They deserve to win. They go out there and they fight, and they want it most. And they achieve the points. And us, we never play according to instructions. We lost. We need to go back and learn. I think sometimes you need to learn in a hard way, more especially when you're kids. So I think congrats to Namibia. They did well, and they fight, and they wanted more than us.
There was no sense of urgency from your team, and then we saw in the second half you kept on saying to them they shouldn't panic because they almost like they went into autopilot where they couldn't think clearly and they were rushing everything.
Yeah, look, football sometimes when you one go down, two go down, you started panicking. The more you panic, you make more mistakes. So I knew that the guys they're panicking, but I tried to scream. I tried to tell them to calm down, play, stick to your plan, knock the ball around. You get a chance, but they were forcing long ball, which it was advantage for them because they were tall and they're running. They get it in the play and they run to us, and you find one against one, you counter attack. If you keep the ball a little bit longer and keep patient, you should get a goal. Also at the same time, we get a couple of chances. We should be composed and finish.
Hard luck. Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.
I will now be joined by the coach of Namibia. Coach, we saw the bench up celebrating after the very first win in the COSAFA Under-20 Youth Championship for the 2020 edition. How would you sum up that game?
Not good towards the end. When you work with kids and they don't do what you taught them, what you've trained on the training ground, it makes life a bit difficult. And when you don't listen, it's also a skill that you as a coach need to teach the boys. But it's difficult, we've been only training for 3 weeks and you have to come and implement all those things, all the technical things of the game. Luckily we got the 3 points, but not a good performance.
It's about identifying key moments in the game, and like you're saying that the performance overall not too pleasing for you, but also those key moments is what earned you a victory today.
Look, the most important thing is the 3 points. We still have 1 game to go against Comoros. We will come and fight again because, what we teach these boys is to fight until the last end. They fought, but we really made silly mistakes and we allowed Malawi to come at us. We were just supposed to keep the ball till the end or till the last minutes, but we couldn't. The wind is also against us. The condition is difficult for us because we are not used to this wind. So it was difficult for us. It was really, 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 really difficult.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations.
Okay, thank you.
The coach of Namibia, Coach James Brits. As we look at what transpired today, the main focus was on Group B. The Comores going down to Zambia. Namibia, it was a do or die game for them. They needed this victory up against Malawi. So now we look at what this means as far as the group standings are concerned. All the teams have now played 2 games apiece, and now it is about what will transpire in the final group stages game. We look at Group A, Mozambique with the edge, South Africa right there in it fighting Zimbabwe and Lesotho. Can they maybe try and get some pride from this game as they have waved a goodbye from the competition? When you look at Group B, that are the teams that we saw, those are the teams that we saw in action here today. Zambia still leading, 2 out of 2 wins for them. Malawi, they got that victory in the opening round. Namibia got one against Malawi. The Comores, it is as good as done for them, but they might still have a say in terms of who will progress through another competition. We look at Group C, made out of 3 teams. Also, that will come down to who wants it the most between Angola as well as Eswatini. Tomorrow we keep on bringing you all the action as Eswatini will be up against the Botswana. Kickoff for that one, 12:30, and later on South Africa against Mozambique. It will kick off simultaneously as the game between Zimbabwe and Lesotho. South Africa, a showdown clash up against Mozambique. These are the 2 teams, number 1 and number 2 on a Group A. So exciting times in the COSAFA Under-20 Youth Championship. The weather did not play ball as mentioned earlier on, but the football definitely delivered. Well, from myself, Lerato Pajo, and the fantastic team, it's goodbye.